What's up, Obvious Gang? This is Captain Obvious, and welcome back to an interesting episode of Forza Horizon 4. So today, it's not a Team Wars race. It's not online racing. We're not building a car. We're not doing games. We're going to be talking to my mom about what should be added and improved in the next Forza Horizon 5 game. Now, it might seem weird that I'm talking to my mom about this, but she's actually way more involved in my Forza gaming than you think. She knows a lot more than I thought she did, and I think this is going to be a very interesting talk that we're going to have. So, hello, Mom. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing today?
Captain Obvious, it's so nice of you to ask. Mother is fine.
So, let's talk about some things in Forza Horizon 4 right now. There have been a lot of interesting bugs and glitches going on, specifically with the servers and them crashing and disconnecting everybody. What do you think Forza should do to fix that, or what do you think they should improve? What do you think they should implement? Just give me your thoughts on here.
About crashing and not being able to load into the game?
Yeah.
And everybody starting racing without one or the other?
Well,
Sometimes that happens, that people get into a race and the others are left out and they're setting in a...
no, I'm just talking about... I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the servers disconnecting everybody. What do you think they should do?
Do you think they're aware of the problem?
Do I think they're aware of the problem? I think, yes, they are aware of the problem, but I think either they don't know what they're doing or they're not doing anything about it. So, yeah.
Could you have a Forza strike?
A strike?
A sit-out?
A sit-out? I mean, maybe.
Why not?
We could if we really wanted to, but... So, okay, let's get off the server subject. And,
Are you sure?
yeah,
You could be loud and proud and let them hear your voice by...
this is not going to get to one of them, just so you know. Anyway, so let's get off the subject of servers, and let's get on to the subject of what Mom... So, this video is going to be kind of split into two parts. I know that there have been many YouTube videos from different YouTubers talking about what needs to be fixed in Horizon 4 and what should be added and implemented into Horizon 5. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to talk about what needs to be fixed and added in Horizon 4, and then move on to what should they do in Horizon 5. So, first off, Mom, what do you think should be fixed or added in Forza Horizon 4? Go, just let her rip.
My observations tell me that the loading times aggravate most people, and I've noticed extensive loading times and waste of time waiting to get in. So I would ask that there be a limit to that, maybe a set time that they would have to furnish access.
Okay, I could see that. That would be interesting to see how they would set that up, but it might be possible. So continue.
I think that the way unghosting works, that it makes another area of frustration. And usually unghosting is random as far as the length of time that you have to come in, or set time.
It's not random. It's usually around 20 to 25 seconds.
Is that enough?
I mean, depending on different Team Wars tracks, I'll just use Team Wars as an example. On many Team Wars tracks, the unghosting point is absolutely horrible. Either it's in the middle of the first corner, it's on a hairpin, or it's just in a very complicated place where if something goes wrong, everybody's messed up, and it's going to be interesting. So,
Tweak that.
Tweak that, yes. One thing I wanted to say is they need to add in the next game a custom unghosting time that you can set it to when you're creating a blueprint. That would be an absolutely fantastic addition to the custom track, to the custom route creator. That would be great.
Could you also pick the location?
Well, the location, as of now, where you start a race depends on where the race points are. Like, I'm playing Forza right now, so I'll show Mom what I mean. Just look over here real quick, Mom. So you see all these points, right? Do you see all these points right here? So this is These are where you can start all races.
Mm-hmm.
I should resay that. So all these little markers are where you can start a race. You can't start them anywhere else. I'll also bring up that they absolutely need to bring in custom starting points. So like this track right here. You see this little...
Yes, I do.
So you see this little T-bone steak thing right here. If you could start a race like right here or right here, anywhere, if you could do that, that would be absolutely perfect, because a custom starting point would just fix so many problems. There are so many routes that you could take.
More.
And I'm looking at like 10 right now. There's one right here where you use part of the highway. There's one right here where you use some of these little roads. And there's just so many others, that there's so many other routes that you could use that would just open up a whole different world, and just not just Team Wars, but I think Forza would be improved in a whole.
For track building.
Yeah, for track building.
Poor thing.
Anyway, so she actually has a okay, fine. What's it?
A lot on her mind.
Yeah, she has a lot on her mind. So this video might be a little bit longer than usual, and I'm sorry if the audio sounds a little bit different. I'm not used to this like podcast type thing. So yeah. Anyway, what's the next thing you want to talk about?
For you, because I know how much you like to take pictures and get involved in photography, the feature for season change and time of day, I think, because I know that there are times that you're rushing to take pictures and the season or the time of day is affecting your photography. Night comes too quickly and you might want a little more time or be able to set a time to play with.
So technically you can adjust it. If you make a blueprint, or you make a blueprint of a track near the area that you want to take a photo with, you can just set the time of day and season. But it's not the best, because you can't... It's not the best way to do it. If there was a way that you could do it in free roam, that would be way better. That's a good point. That should be implemented some way. So
way back in the day, when everyone in the team was first starting to build their favorites, they would run out of garage space and have to sell their cars.
Yes.
And sell off beautiful cars that they spent a lot of time with. And I thought that was always a disadvantage.
Well, I don't know if you knew this, but I think I told you that they did expand the garage size to a 1,000, but I think this is the point that you're bringing up. It should be unlimited, but maybe not unlimited to literally unlimited. It should be a lot. Like...
Oh, I think that if you want, that there should be a way that you could store in a file your garage pics, your own fleet, and then bring it in and out, however that can be managed in the game.
Yeah.
So it's your personal, unlimited garage space. Maybe they'll even have a little purchase power that you have to do to get that, but nevertheless.
That would actually... that would not be a bad...
How about a wheel spin feature for more garage space?
Well, maybe. I like the idea of the kind of pay for more. So, like, I don't know. Maybe you could pay...
They would like that.
They would like that a lot. That would be beneficial in both areas, honestly, because they would be making money and the players would be more happier because they would get more room. So it could be like, this is probably how they should do it. $5 for 50 spots. And $10 for 100 spots.
That seems steep, because you can buy an entire game.
A game? Well, yeah, you could.
But I like the idea of making it like Forza money or Forza trading.
Or yeah, and then
spinning for it.
And then we could get into that subject as well.
Yeah, I'm about to. I was going to ask you about that.
Okay, so I'll go back to this this garage thing. Maybe it could be $1 for 10 spots and $5. 10? What's wrong with that?
How many do you normally have for your cap?
For cap, the cap right now is 1,000. It used to be 750, but I can't remember how long ago it was. I'll put on screen how long ago it was that they actually made it 1,000. I can't remember right now. But
increments of 200 or so, I think, would be better.
Increments of 200. Well, maybe they would probably either have a system or something set up. Anyway,
Wait a second, just a quick question. Sorry to cut in. How many cars a week do you build?
A week?
Yeah.
I don't know. for me specifically, I'd probably say 5 to 10, depending on if I have a team wars that week or if I'm just in a tuning mood. Yeah, I'd say like 5 to 10 or something like that. So yeah.
See how that number would climb up?
Yeah. So depending. Anyway,
you want to talk about money?
Money as in credits?
Money as in, I feel for players building a team and associating with other drivers and that camaraderie of sharing cars and needing a car. Sometimes you need a car in a pinch for a race. I don't think that it is always these cars should be transferred through the auction or by sale. I think you should be able to, at liberty, give a car away if you want.
Yeah, that's another thing. That was in the original Forza game. That was in Forza Horizon 1, yeah. Where you could, I can't exactly remember. I didn't play that game. I think I played it for about a week and then, I don't know what happened. But I remember that you could gift cars. I don't know about money, but I know for a fact that you could gift cars. And I think that should have been a feature in all the Forza games. And they should add the ability to give money, because that would just save the hassle of trying to go into the auction house, get a car that's got a broken price on it, sell it to them, hopefully hope that they get the car, because they might not even get the car. Some auction house sniper could get it if it's a rare car, but it would just make that hassle so much easier. And is that all you got on that subject?
Okay, so when you buy a car, this isn't off the top of my head. When you buy someone's car and the livery is unacceptable or unpleasing, how can you wipe it off? That's what I'd like to know.
All you got to do is just go into the livery, either change the color or add a different livery on there. It's that easy.
But all this time you've been
wanting to know that?
No, all this time you've had things flash up there that you know.
Sometimes I put it on there on purpose.
Well, sometimes I'm begging you in the background, that car is flashing in my face again. I have a high standard to maintain, and I thought you did too. So I thought it was a done deal.
I have a high standard.
I thought you were stuck with it, and that I was just going to hope that you let it drift to the back of your garage, so to say.
Well, I mean, at some point, some paint jobs in Forza are, like, really game. Especially, it's mainly with anime paint jobs. Just what?
You don't want to step on an animator's toes.
I don't care about anime. I don't care about
For me,
weeds.
my angst is when you're advertising for a company on your game. It shouldn't be a platform for advertisement.
As in what? What have you seen before?
Like, the sponsors for, I'll just name a few. Not that I hate to pick any one, but right now I would see the Red Bull, for instance. Now, Red Bull,
Okay.
It serves the purpose in the world, I suppose, but not the healthiest product on the market. Or Budweiser, excuse me, I'm making not a commercial advertising here, but they are through the game. And so, yes, I think I would scrub the walls. So.
I don't think that it's much of a sponsor issue. I think it's just people wanting that on their car because, like Red Bull and Budweiser, there are some famous liveries with the Red Bull company. So it's not much of trying to sponsor your company or show off your company. It's more of just people wanting to use that paint job as it's famous or it's something that they like.
They're replicating the
IRL. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go back to talking you and I about what you can change on some of your cars anyway.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is growing on me.
I have a speaking of which, I have a SpongeBob Baja truck that I use sometimes. That's fun. Anyway.
Okay.
Next subject. What's up?
So a while back I kind of listened to your play, listened to what was going on, and I even went to the effort of writing down a few things because I said to myself, one day we're going to have a Forza family meeting, and this is the alternative, is dragging all of you into it. So what about matchmaking was I trying to bring up? Is there something concerning matchmaking that isn't going smoothly?
Well, now it's definitely better than it was last year, like mid last year, matchmaking for like ranked and just matchmaking for any online racing was absolutely horrible. But in the past couple months, they've definitely fixed it, and it's way better now. So I don't consider it a problem. Sometimes the servers are acting really bad, and sometimes matchmaking is very not bad. It's not very good at all.
It's long and drawn out, though, yes?
Yes, sometimes, but I'd say now it's way more consistent in getting you into a lobby sooner. So I wouldn't consider matchmaking to get into an online thing a problem right now.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to watch for the changes because so far I haven't been seeing the improvement that you're talking about. We'll go on.
Anyway, yeah. Next subject. What's up?
Oh, this one is kind of a personal favorite.
Okay.
I'm going to read verbatim. Fix the glitch that allows someone to gain advantage by ramming at the finish line.
Ah, yes, Xboxing someone, yes.
Yeah.
So, that's not even a, well, there's desync and there's being Xbox. Basically, it's when you're behind somebody or you're ahead of somebody and the person behind you or ahead of you, specifically if you're ahead of someone and someone's like right behind you, that person will beat you when you are clearly ahead. Normally, if this is how the glitch goes, but if you're behind somebody and you're near the finish line, and if you tap any part of their car, you will have the win. And I don't know how that works in the game's physics at all. I definitely think that they could fix it. And yeah, so that's what Xboxing is. And then desync, this really doesn't have to do with winning a race. When the game says you're somewhere and on another person's screen you're not where the game says, in parentheses the game says that other person is, and either you touch them or they touch you, and you either get pushed out of a checkpoint, pushed into a wall, and yeah, another touch on the being Xboxed is, I think the game gives the winner to the person who had the fastest finish time. So even if you're behind somebody, the person ahead might not even have the fastest finish time, and the person behind you might have the fastest finish time. So the game will give you that. I don't know much about that. I heard something about it a while back. But I think it's just the game just acting up in general. So, is that it about being Xboxed, or?
Yeah, because I've seen at the end of a race when it shows the leaderboard, the what do you call the win board?
The leaderboard?
Is it the leaderboard?
Yeah, it's the leaderboard.
I thought the leaderboard was when you're racing.
Well, it's both. It's
Okay.
Leaderboard.
Okay, so the leaderboard finish will, like you say, show another person as first or second or third place, or however many places they do announce. It's only the first 3 places that they list, isn't that correct?
That's the full lobby.
Okay, but they do
But,
the
like,
banner
They
for
do the banner for the first 3. Yeah.
And when you shift screens, is that called the festival?
The festival? No, that's just
where
called.
is that when you're dancing your little?
That's called
showboat?
the well, there's 2. That's either the loading screen to get into a race, or
Okay.
that's the finish screen.
Okay.
When you have finished a race and it shows the podium if you got
Yes,
podium.
yes. So
Okay.
that's exactly. The podium finish screen will show, for instance, CaptainObvious coming in second when he cleared the finish line first, but he had that incident of being rammed.
Desynced, yes.
Desynced. Okay, got it. Well, it's something to watch for.
Yeah. So
And not to try to ram intentionally, correct?
well, yeah.
We may
of
be
course,
letting
of course.
something out. Okay, so speaking of desynced, while you were explaining, I thought, ooh, I remember when you hit a tree or you've done a barrel roll or something, and then there again is this time where I call it a glitch, but you might call it something else.
It's just the respawn time.
Respawning,
Respawn
yeah.
timer.
And so why is it that sometimes you get these slowdowns or these crazy little hang-ups that defeat you?
I'd say whenever you do a barrel roll or you get flipped over on top of your car, I I think the game, this used to be a big problem. I can't remember how long ago it was. It was definitely a couple updates ago that they had a big problem with the respawn timer, and they had to fix it. And it kind of got fixed, but it was definitely better before they originally changed it. But basically, the game will reset you if it thinks that it's not going to. If the game will the game will reset you if it doesn't think that you're going to flip over onto your wheels. But I think the system that they're using is bugged or something, because sometimes the game just doesn't reset you at all, and you just stay on your side or the top of your car. And yeah, and then hitting trees, there isn't a respawn timer for hitting trees. You just hit a tree and then you get into reverse, and now you go. But I don't know what you were getting at there.
Well, what about slowdown? Is there anything that? Why is that, and why does it have to be?
Slowdown is actually a good thing, and I'm very grateful that Forza actually did something like that. When the game first came out, there was no ghosting at the beginning. I don't think you knew this because I didn't play the game at the very beginning. I played the game in May of 2019. That's when I first got the game. So 5 or 6 months after the game came out. And I still can't remember because I didn't do online racing at all. I was mainly just a drag racer and drifter, like I've said before. I don't know if at that point the game had ghosting, but when the game first came out, there was no ghosting at the beginning. There was no ghosting in high-speed collisions. That's what it's called, high-speed collision ghosting, or something like that. There was nothing like that, so people would dive bomb like insane. It was crazy how much dive bombing action that would happen. There are multiple videos on YouTube. I'm not going to link any because if you just type in Rammers Forza Horizon 4, the majority of the videos will be from when the game first came out, so you'll see what I mean when you watch them. But as for now, they added that just so people won't dive bomb in the corners, and so they won't try to wall ride, because the game has a system, whatever they use, the game has a sort of system where it detects if you're wall riding or something, and it'll give you a slowdown. But even the slowdown system is bugged, and it sometimes shouldn't give you a slowdown when you barely touch a wall or something. It's not fine-tuned, you could say, and that's something that should be fixed. But I think the majority of the things that we're talking about, they probably won't be fixed because this game is close to the end of its lifespan, and they're going to be coming out with a new Forza game anytime soon. But I like having conversations like this, so I hope that Forza will either see this video or somebody from Forza will see this video, and I'll send it to one of my friends who actually works for Forza. Hopefully they will send it to the Forza team or whatever. But yeah, does that answer your question about the wall riding at all?
Wall riding?
About the
I'm thinking, come back to me.
About the ghosting. Does that answer your question about the ghosting?
You said you liked the slowdown.
Well, I particularly don't like when I get a slowdown, but I think that it should be a feature. It should have been a feature from the start. So yeah, it's a good feature to have, even if you get slowed down a few times. So yeah.
Well, since we were talking about unghosting and also the slowing down, I see these things take place if you wipe out or if you're going through checkpoints too many across. And so that brought me to the issue of clipping when you want to do a report, because you've told me that you have to toggle to clip.
Yeah, so what you have to do, let's say I'm in a race right now. Again, I'm driving around on Forza while we're having this talk, so I can just show her what I'm talking about. So let's say I'm in a race right now. I'm in free roam, but I'm not in a race. Okay. So I have to press the Xbox button on my controller, and then it'll say Y, capture screenshot, X, record what happened, and then capture options, more options. I'll just if it's something at the end of the race that I want to see, I'll press that and I'll quickly press X. But I think there needs to be a way to either save races, like in a file or something, because I think in Forza Motorsport, I'm going to bring up a different game here. In what is that game called? Trackmania, you're able to save runs or different races that you have. And I think that should definitely be a feature in Forza, because that would help a lot with reports of ramming, or just, let's say one of my friends got into an accident and they think that I did something to them, and I think that and I say I did something else. That would clear up so many problems, because you would actually be able to either send a bit of that recording or send the whole recording to the person, so they're able to view it, and then the problems with ramming and stuff, it wouldn't be a problem, because they would be able to see it with their own eyes.
It would speak for itself.
Yeah. And then that also brings up another subject that I'm going to bring up. I'll bring up the subject of Spectator Mode. That is a feature that is in Forza Motorsport and Trackmania. I don't know why I keep bringing up Trackmania, but I just got back into playing that game, so that's why I think I'm bringing it up. But Spectator Mode should indefinitely be a thing in the next Forza Horizon game. I know people are going to get mad, and they're going to say Forza Horizon 5 isn't going to be a die-hard racing game like Forza Motorsport 7, but you should have that feature, though, because there's still going to be online racing, and I would rather not be driving around in Forza while I wait for a race to start if I'm in a lobby, when I could be watching that race happen, and I would be able to switch through the different drivers' views, and I could see what is going on and stuff. That would make the game a lot more enjoyable, and especially in Team Wars races, that would be so helpful. And I don't think you guys know, if you're not in Team Wars, Spectator Mode would just be so awesome, because people wouldn't have to stream the races. You could just invite the people that want to stream the race, so other people could watch it. Like a cast, that's what they call it. They would be casting the race. That would help so much with casting Team Wars races, and just many other things. It would help so much. So now that I'm done with my rant,
No, we've discussed that. It just didn't make it to my little index card.
pause. This is Captain Obvious.
And Mama Forza.
We're going to cut this video in half, as the original recording that we did was an hour long, and make this a part 2 series, so make sure to check that out. Make sure to smash the like button,
Subscribe.
and share this to all your friends.
This is Captain Obvious signing off.
Bye!